Hey guys, these right here are hermit crabs. I've actually never kept hermit crabs before, but they are super cool. But today we're gonna be setting up an epic enclosure for these guys. You can actually pick these up at most big box stores and they're super easy to care for. They will bite you, well, they don't bite, but they will pinch you if you hold them too much. But we're going to set up an absolute epic enclosure for them today. Before we do, make sure you comment below and let me know, what do you think we should name these two amazing little hermit crabs? With that, guys, let's go ahead and get into setting up homes for these two beautiful hermit crabs. Let's do that now. For the base level sand substrate, I'm going to be using silica based pool filter sand. This stuff will make perfect sand for this enclosure. It'll allow for these hermit crabs to be able to burrow down inside of it. You want your sand substrate to be a minimum of 6 inches in depth. Now I'm creating a rock barrier. We want to separate the substrate types. So on top of the sand on one side, we're actually going to be filling this with some cocoa fiber. And the reason for the cocoa fiber is because it will actually help maintain some moisture in this enclosure. And now to start with a hardscape. I actually started with some mopani wood, and I quickly realized that this was not the style I wanted to go for. I started to think maybe some cork or something like that, but it's always a trial and error thing when you start to scape something. Now moving into the enrichment for these hermit crabs. A couple of things you're going to want to provide for them are hides. They do like to stay hidden just so they feel secure and safe. So we're going to start with this half log hide, and we're going to add another little hide made out of a walking bridge. These are perfect hides because they can get up underneath them, feel safe and secure, as well as climb on top of them. Because in case you didn't know, hermit crabs are crazy climbers. So I ended up deciding to come back with some cork. It will be great enrichment for these hermit crabs because, like I said, they are excellent climbers. They also like to hide, so it'll be a perfect place for them to hide, climb, as well as cork actually will retain a little bit of water without growing mildew and mold and things of that nature. So it's a perfect piece of enrichment for these hermit crabs, as well as provide some function with retaining water. I keep messing around with escape, and it's about this time I realize, you know what, let's just get rid of this mopani wood completely, and let's just strictly go with cork. This little piece of cork right here is actually kind of cool. It looks like it was a part of a trunk of that particular tree, and it works perfect for what we're trying to do here. So we just said forget it, just go straight with the cork. I decided to add a live plant to this enclosure, and I thought it looked really cool kind of sitting up on top of this little tree trunk piece of cork. It really gave it a nice aesthetic just having some live plants in there, but later on we realized that this wasn't a great idea because, well, I'm starting to believe that hermit crabs happen to be baby little crustacean terrorists. And now we're just adding a couple of more larger elements to this setup. We want as many possible things that these little hermit crabs can climb, explore around, hide under, those types of things. We really want to make a nice enriching environment for these hermit crabs. Before moving to the next step, I want to go ahead and wet this enclosure down. I'm just going to spray down all of the substrate and all of this cork with some dechlorinated water. This is just simply fresh water just to get some moisture into this enclosure before we move to the next step. Alright guys, well this thing is done. Check this thing out. So we have a sand area, and then we have a sand and cocoa fiber area as well. We have a little hide back here, as well as some actual tropical plants, and you saw how I put those together inside of this massive piece of cork with a massive cork branch that runs this way.
all of the rocks and everything. I did not realize that hermit crabs were such great climbers, but we were trying to provide them with a nice area for enrichment. We also have a hide over here in the sand area. But a couple of things that we are missing. All of this I had on hand, but the things that I'm missing are things like I need water bowls, I need food bowl, and crab food. In my research, I realized that we have to put both fresh and salt water into this setup. So with that, guys, let's get out to a pet store and get the things that we need. The pet store we're not allowed to film in, but I'm gonna try to film with my cell phone, so we'll see how that works. Let's get out of here and see what we can get. Okay guys, we have to be very careful about filming in here because we're not allowed to. That's why I don't have my big camera. But we need a couple of these bowls. We need one for salt water, one for fresh water. I guess technically we'll take a third too because we need one for food. Alright guys, well we have our bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and start by placing the food bowl like right about here. Give them plenty of access to get to that. And then as far as fresh and salt water goes, I think I'm going to go ahead and place this back over here. So we'll put one there and maybe one here. For water, we're going to have to use both salt and fresh. This is fresh water directly out of one of my tanks. So it's been dechlorinated and it is fully safe for these hermit crabs to drink. And for salt water, here is our salt water, and I actually keep salt water on hand fully, and that is because I constantly have to hatch brine shrimp due to the baby axolotls. So we have salt water and we have fresh water. We have our food and we have plenty of space for these guys and enrichment. So now what I want to do is go ahead and wet down the enclosure to make sure we get the humidity right. And now let's go ahead and introduce you to our beautiful little hermit crabs. And that one's already making his way into a hide. Look at that one. They are amazing climbers, guys. Who would have known that they could climb so well? My question is where's this dude think he's going? This dude's just hanging out. He's down low, you know, he's not like a daredevil, and then you got this guy. And look, let's see where he's going here. Man, they are great climbers. I'm telling you. Alright guys, well I doubt very seriously that they will be able to climb out of here, but just in case, we're going to go ahead and cap this thing off right here with its top, and we will leave these guys to live happily ever after. So with that, hopefully you went on to enjoy this video. Hopefully you like these little hermit crabs. I really appreciate you guys coming to check out the content. If you have not subscribed, please do that and turn on that notification bell, as well as follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Links to both are down below. With that, guys, I'm truly grateful for each and every one of you. Love you, and I will see you next time.